But anyway, yeah, we're going to talk to Bonnie Ramthun, which I better get her bio out. Okay, I want to talk to Bonnie Ramthun. She's this woman, and she created a top-secret war game for the government, and she also wrote 2 books, Ground Zero and Earthquake Games. Why is she going to be on my show? I have no earthly idea, but I really do want to talk to her. She's skilled at military maneuvers, savvy about international defense, at ease profiling a terrorist. I'm Tom Brokaw, and she's been known to save the world from nuclear annihilation, often before lunchtime. As a wargamer for the Defense Department, it was all a day's work. In Cipro, we trust.
Hey, did you make sure she's in the same time zone?
No, I know she's not. She's in Mountain. It's 7 o'clock to her. No, it's actually 5 o'clock to her. It's 7 to us.
That's when we're supposed to call her, right?
Now, 7 o'clock.
No, 5, her time.
Well, whatever. Don't confuse me.
Jeez.
Hello.
Hi there. Is this Bonnie Ramthun?
This is she.
Hi, this is Tom from the Tom and Brian Show. How are you?
I'm doing great, Tom.
Can you talk to us for a little while?
I sure can.
Well, that is just wonderful. I can't begin to tell you how ecstatic I was to be able to talk to you. I can't believe your accomplishments.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. I don't even know where to begin. 2 books. I mean, you've done all the military maneuver stuff. And also, let me introduce you to, to Brian.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
We never do anything quite right on this show.
Yeah, we're usually a little bit behind everybody else, so just bear with us.
No problem.
But we like to have
Actually,
fun.
wargaming is a little bit like that.
Is it really?
Nothing ever works exactly right.
Oh,
well, that's cool.
So true.
Then you'll be right at home on this show.
Exactly. I'll fit right in.
But, so, actually, I'll start off with, what did you think about the movie War Games?
We had the poster up in our lab.
Oh, really? So you like it?
And we would take it down before we would have a real war game where the military would come in. But when we worked in there and practiced in there, we had the big movie poster right up. Is it real or is it a game?
Or is it Memorex?
Yeah.
Actually, how factual is that, though? I mean, how realistic is that?
Oh, well, if you've seen the movie, anyone who works with computers knows that computers don't think. And they don't take over. Exactly.
It's us that does the thinking.
Talk to me.
What's that?
How about
it was Joshua. His name was Joshua.
We were actually going
to a few times.
We were going to actually initiate the whole phone call with "Shall we play a game?" or "Good afternoon, Professor
Falcon."
Thank you. Not Vulcan, but
Falcon. Falcon, whatever.
But did you have any input on the movie War Games?
Oh, heavens no. That came out before the Wargaming Center was built.
Oh, really? So
And so, guess what the Wargaming Center looked like?
What did it look like?
I'm not kidding you. It looked like the command center in the movie War Games.
Really?
Wow.
The facility where I worked, this is just such a fun story. The facility where I worked was built in the late 80s, early 90s. By people who had read and had seen every James Bond movie ever made.
Cool.
And they had all the money that they wanted to create a facility of their dreams. And it was, the only thing that we lacked was the Maxwell Smart shoe. Every day I went into a building and walked into a clear glass booth that would then lock me in. And then a retina scanner would scan my eye, and I would have to type in a code, and it would weigh me, because of course somebody might be behind me, or
right.
I don't know what. The alien might be between my shoulder blades. I'm not sure what they were thinking.
We wouldn't want to wait time.
If I didn't, if everything went perfect, the booth would unlock and let me out.
Oh, wow.
If I didn't type everything perfectly, if my retina scan didn't go through, if I didn't weigh the right amount, the booth would continue to stay locked, and the alarms would go off, and the guys with the M16s would come and have a talk with me.
Greetings, Professor Vulcan.
So they take all that stuff really seriously then?
Oh, yeah, and we had to.
Lots of cloak and dagger stuff.
Now, this wasn't inside Cheyenne Mountain, right?
No.
This was someplace else?
Although I went inside Cheyenne Mountain several times.
Yeah, we were reading your bio. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I've seen Escape from Witch Mountain. Does that have anything to do with this?
Not. It isn't quite the same.
No.
Really.
Well, the RV flying through the air, can that happen?
Only after the nuke goes off.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Then everything flies through the air, right?
Then we can have all sorts of stuff flying through the air, yeah.
Now, are you referring to a suitcase nuke?
Suitcase nukes. I love suitcase nukes. I could talk for hours about suitcase nukes.
Well, we'll let you.
Here's the down and dirty, which is kind of a pun because that's where you get dirty nukes. 10, 15 years ago, more than 100 suitcase nukes from the Soviet Union were lost,
Really?
stolen. Now that's true. That's not fiction. That's not a rumor. That's the absolute truth, confirmed by the Russians themselves.
Wow.
These suitcase nukes have been floating around ever since, and of course, the people who want suitcase nukes are not the kind of people you want living next to you.
No.
That's the bad news. The good news is nuclear weapons are very fragile beasts. If you drop a suitcase nuke, not only is it not going to go off, but it's never going to go off again.
So it's not like Samsonite?
Yeah, exactly. The gorilla cannot play with a suitcase nuke. At least not for very long. That's the first thing. The second thing is that they degrade. Nuclear weapons degrade. We spend a lot of money in the U.S. military buffing and polishing and doing all sorts of interesting things to our nukes.
Aren't you afraid to touch it?
Oh, they don't touch them with their fingers.
Oh, okay.
And not even with
I thought they sent them through the
gloves.
car wash or something.
I had heard that the cesium fuses go bad after about 6 or 7 years.
See, that's why Brian's here. He gives me the legitimacy. I don't know anything about all that cesium fuses, but he's there to, fill that in.
About what?
The cesium fuses,
Oh, yeah.
don't they degrade over 6 or 7 years? So it basically, if they aren't replaced, they go bad, and then they can't detonate the bombs?
Right, and not only that, but plutonium itself degrades. It starts developing a crusty substance on top. See, I told you I knew about suitcase nukes.
Yes, you certainly
and the
do.
crusty substance is called Americus.
Ooh.
Because it's new in the periodic table of elements because they discovered it after they refined uranium into plutonium. It's called Americus. So this disgusting crusty substance grows over the plutonium, and then it will not go off.
Wow.
So it's like rust, sort of, more or less.
Yeah, more or less.
Huh.
But here's where suitcase nukes are dangerous, and this is, you may have heard people spout off about dirty nukes.
Yes.
Yeah, nuclear material. What they're talking about is those stolen Russian suitcase nukes. You take an old nuke like that one, you surround it with explosives and you set it off, and the radioactive material in the nuke then gets mixed with all the dust, and you have a very radioactive bomb.
A lot of bad dust and cancer.
A lot of
and stuff like
bad
that.
dust that will kill people,
Oh, yeah.
but not nearly as destructive as a nuclear weapon. They're
Wow.
nasty, but not as destructive.
So, yeah, I'm going to, kind of go back and forth with, like, real questions and then, like, fun questions.
Okay,
Because we're a lot of fun on this show, so.
we'll try and have fun.
Okay.
Aren't nukes fun? I thought nukes were fun.
well, I guess depends on your point of view.
Yeah. So true.
What I wanted to ask you was, what do you think about the time when England accidentally invaded Spain? Was that a good maneuver?
You gotta love those English guys, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The luck of the English.
The luck of the English. We actually played a war game where England tried to take us back as a colony.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was a fun one. And for those people who follow conspiracy theory, that was a real riot.
They didn't win, though, right?
No, they didn't win.
Very interesting. So who do you like better? I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to go to Star Trek.
Okay.
Are you a Captain Kirk fan or are you a Captain Picard fan?
Oh, Captain Kirk can kick Picard.
Yes. You're allowed to stay on the show. Thank you. I agree with that. Because Picard is just a cardboard cutout, very bland, very robotic. Shatner had such style, and, he got a different girl every week.
Yeah.
He had charisma, everything.
Yeah. And he portrayed what I would consider true American spirit, in that the prime directive never seemed to slow Captain Kirk down.
True.
If a society needed to be fixed, he got right in there and fixed that damn society.
Exactly. And his toupee is one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. And did you notice how he would get a little rounder during the midwinter episodes, and then he'd slim down as spring approached?
Yes, I did notice that.
Yeah.
Actually, in Star Trek Generations, millions of dollars was spent to airbrush his butt because it had gotten too big.
Oh, that's information I really didn't need to know.
So, anyway, so that's good. You answered that one correctly. What about this?
I can continue playing the game.
Yeah, you can continue playing. What about this bulletproof breast thing?
Oh.
Do you
Well,
have
booked me on your
bulletproof
show,
breasts?
so I guess I'll tell you the bulletproof breast story.
It's hard to say.
It is. And that's one of the reasons it's so funny. I worked as a WarGamer, and as our team developed the computer simulations, we would practice and practice and practice. As it came close to being time to bring the military guys in and really play the game, we would play the game with our own WarGamers.
Right.
To really stretch the system. And different people would play the president. Well, a young woman came to work there, and we're all geeky computer types. We've all got Star Trek uniforms in our basements where we live, And this girl came to work there, and she was Cuban American, totally curvy, very beautiful. All the guys were trying so hard not to stare at her every minute of the day.
Was she green?
Green?
No.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Oh, yeah, like on Star Trek.
Okay.
She was as beautiful as the dancer, but she didn't wear that kind of clothing to wargaming.
Okay.
Anyway, she was the president. She played the president during one of our war games, and we all sit on intercom headphones. And the war started, and one of the guys got on the intercom, because we're all hooked in, and says, "Madam President, we have nuclear weapons in the air headed towards Washington, D.C. You better put on your bulletproof breast."
So that was actually a mistake then. She meant to say vest?
He meant to say vest.
Oh,
He said breast. Everybody fell on the floor. The world was lost. The war was lost. We were just holding our stomachs, rolling around.
Thanks to the bulletproof
piss on a spark
breast.
plug if I thought it'd do any good.
So how did you get into all this? I mean, your accomplishments are staggering. Were you like a tomboy growing up, or what? Give me an idea about your childhood.
Definitely a tomboy growing up, but I always wanted to be a writer. Always, from the age I was 9 years old. But I wanted to write the kind of stories that I love to read, like Heinlein, science fiction stories, or adventure stories, or James Bond, or later on when I started reading Tom Clancy. I wanted to write those same kind of adventure stories. So I thought, well, instead of getting an English degree, I'll get a computer science degree. And then I will see what kind of places I can get myself into. And the first thing I got out of college was a civilian position doing helicopter crash investigation. So I was in, jumpsuit, in helicopters, testing out new elements, buzzing alligators in the swamps of Alabama. It was a wild job. It was was fun, but it was also, pretty intense. Helicopter accidents claim a lot of soldiers every year.
Exactly. Oh, I think there's an accident happening right now.
Yeah, well, I don't think it sounds quite like that, but
Not quite like that.
yeah. And so anyway, I tried to get into all these different places, and I was working on a space station module. We were trying to create one of the aspects of the space station at this company where I worked, and I heard about wargaming. And I threw my pencil in the air and said, I have got to get myself in there.
So you actually diverted your writer career to go into the wargaming.
Actually, it was all about writing.
Oh, okay.
So even when I went into wargaming,
That's true.
I
You
knew
were
I was in
creating,
there
you were creating
purely
stories
to gather
and scenarios.
material.
Very fascinating. What do you think of this implementation of the shadow government created by President Bush in this time of crisis?
Oh, what a riot.
That's what I was telling Tom. I said, it's just old Cold War stuff.
It's been there the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sure there's organizations that we don't know about that are functioning quite well.
Yeah, in fact, when I took my tour...
I watched the X-Files, I know.
You guys know. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
That's
Something's out
the whole
there.
Time. When I went in my tour through NORAD, they talked about how one of the charters of NORAD is after a war was over, they had teams that were supposed to go out and reestablish civilization.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jeez.
That's what I said. Okay, what does that mean? And they said, next part of the tour, let's move along.
Scary
I don't
stuff.
know what they mean.
So do you believe in, the Chupacabra or the Yeti?
I have never met a conspiracy theory I didn't like.
So I would take that as a yes.
Well,
Are they out there? Are they in Colorado?
I never met a conspiracy theory that I didn't like, but I'm also a computer programmer, so logic has its way with me.
Sounds like
Logic
Spock.
has me firmly in its grasp. I believe that there is more to this earth than is just answered by my little brain. And when people say, oh, this couldn't be possible. I look at them and say, who made you God? You don't know everything. The more I learn, the more I find out I don't know.
Exactly.
So in fact, people who admit that they don't know are the kind of people I like to hang out with. Sure, there could be chupacabra. I haven't seen one, but I can't for sure say there isn't one.
Exactly.